Huh. I don't know if I've ever actually heard this song before. Anyway, okay. Fuck, why is my chat not loading? I fucking... I just had to close it and apparently open it back up again. Alright, anyway. Okay, we gotta finish these up. I'm just gonna... We got a bunch of stuff. Darkness, Rot, cool. We got 2 portraits I'm working on. I'm gonna try to get a background in, and we gotta work. We need... Nope. This is my go-to for all of the background colors. I was like, for a second, I was like, what the hell? Why is it so dark? I had to have faith. Had to have faith that something was fucked up and then figure it out. Anyway. Alright. Makes sense that a butcher would be into both blood and flesh, I think. I'm just gonna do... I don't necessarily want the background. I mean, the background kind of sticking through a little bit is kind of cool on the edges of stuff, but for the most part, I just don't want to deal with that. Oh, this is a rendering of the mask. Okay. So that's the thing, like when you're painting cracks and stuff, like when you're drawing, it's really easy to just be like, oh, that's a crack. But when you're painting, you kind of want, or if you're trying to do at least like more kind of like 3-dimensional realism, part of it is that like the cracks, one plane of whatever is cracked is going to be likely catching light. And depending on the crack, it could shift. And so generally the way I think about it is like in the shadows, you're going to see a little bit of light on either side of the crack. And then on in the light parts, you can add a shadow, because we're really thinking about like it being a void and not being just a line, but something that's representative of actual like missing, you know, a missing piece of something. So in like this shadow area, I'm just kind of... It's a little bit different when you're doing like, you know, like what I'm doing now with like this lined cartoon art. Give them a little bit of a glowing eye, I think. And with glowing eyes and stuff, it's like this funny thing where you do like the color you want the eyes to be glowing, you know, more saturated or whatever, and have that be that most outer kind of ring, and then as you go in, it should get like closer to a white. Like you can't quite go. I mean, you can, depending on how bright you want it to be, but like you can actually just go pure white, and then it really looks like it's like a glow. But I don't want it glowing that much, which is just my own personal preference. But anyway, so again, this is such a pain in the butt. But adding kind of like areas, I'm just even implying it. Like I'm not even like really outlining or thinking too hard about how some of these shadows should work. And so then now I have to go even brighter on the light side to just show that these are like cracks, if that makes sense. Cool. So now we can render like these like pipe-like structures. A lot of this is just trying to like figure out what the forms of these pipes are and kind of like what's going on with the mask. I could always turn the reference back on, but I think at this point we're just sort of trying to figure out what makes the most sense. I'm letting the red kind of the background come in as it's almost like kind of a faux light source, if you will. The cast shadow should actually be darker. Like it, this needs to look like it's going into the mask. But depending how reflected we want to be, we should probably actually come in here and just add a little bit of reflected light from the mask. Like the mask, light's hitting that, bouncing back onto the metal like posts or whatever. I mean, to be honest, that's at this kind of level of illustration, it's going to be printed like that. You probably don't super need to see that, but I wanted to do it because I knew it was supposed to be that way. I'm really leaning into the texture here because, like, if he's all just like slick and smooth, he looks too clean. I'm still trying to get the highlights of it looking like we're getting lots of reflected light on his skin. Like he's sweaty and dirty. And so like this like non-perfect texture is going to be really important into like selling the idea that like he's grimy. Let me just look at his blood relative texture. Okay. So I'm just like rendering this in kind of broad strokes. Actually, I don't even know if you can see it, this resolution.
Everyone has had too much of now. From megacities like Central to the vast and desolate outlands, nobody wants more of it. How it used to feel is what the people want, and Rememory offers us exactly that. Retros, remembered treasures of the forgotten past. Treasures of the forgotten past.
Alright. He's got his two little metal things on. It's just a creepy monster guy, I guess. Yeah. Alright. That feels solid. Mista Butcher, I think you're good. You're done. Okay. Well.
Everyone has had too much of now. From mega cities like Central to the vast and desolate outlands, nobody wants more of it. How it used to feel is what the people want. And Rememory offers us exactly that. Retros. Remembered treasures of the forgotten past. Retros. Remembered treasures of the forgotten past.
So I think at this point, for her portrait, it's just like smoothing stuff out. I probably should have just like, no, that's not right. There's still more red. Okay. I'm like color picking her lip color right now. This is probably off, but I just want, sometimes you want to do stuff the hard way, right? I should just like color pick. That's way too dark. Yeah. Something like that. Because like, yeah, that was a mistake. But I feel like it helps you see better and helps you be like, all right, closer. Okay. Getting there. Then you can actually like color pick and be like, what color is that? That's the color I was thinking of. But that's just the inner lip, like the shadow. Okay. Ah, no. Just, no. Kind of want this like, I'm losing like some of these vibrant orange undertones, and I think that looks a lot better. Yeah. So now the challenge is going to be getting the hair right. I'm just going to do it on its own layer. So something like this. We're going to go smaller. I'm like using like very light pressure here. I'm kind of gonna fudge a little bit because she's generally lit from the front. I'm gonna kind of like very gently try to fade things back from the outermost part, because it's like with dark hair, as it goes forward onto like the skin, you're gonna see more skin because the angle of the hair is pointing closer to you. So as it goes up, you're gonna see more hairs overlapping, creating like a darker shadow. So we can kind of help sell the illusion given this style. I mean, and that's how you might, like, this is how you get that first value pass anyway. Even if I was like oil painting, I'd probably try to do something like this, and then only in a very final stage would I be doing like all of the individual strokes for the hair, if I wanted to go that like photorealistic. But we're not doing photorealism here, so that's what we're gonna do. Cool. Just getting there. This is one of those ones where like it's a lot of subtle stuff is gonna like make or break this illustration. And it's a funny thing because, like, you know, when I was just kind of like, whatever, you send me a photo, you get what you get. But like, you know, I want to make people feel excited to be in the game and not like bummed out. More orange. I like put all these like general kind of colors, but like, I don't know. That's too much. Too bright. Too bright. Knock it back a little bit. It's going to be the same up here on the nose. But as it gets down here, it's true. This gets a little pinkish. I'm just gonna not even fuck around with this. the shadow underneath this, like, the cleft of the lip, but then it transitions into, like, these highlights. What up, Amoros? Doing some portrait painting for my game, Colt Crafter. While I usually would try to paint this with the reference kind of on another screen or something, and I'd just be like referring, this is not the time. I'm like much behind on things. So while in theory I would rather use this time to practice portrait painting, I'm just kind of like coloring. But I would like to think that there is some still merit in being very intentional with choices, thinking about how it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things as a painting or as an illustration that gets printed, the size that it's printing at, kind of people, how people are feeling in general. Yeah, more yellow. She has really warm orangey yellow undertones, but like the undertones of a face are going to always shift depending on what area of the face you're painting and how close it is both to bone, like in the case of the forehead, or how close it is to blood vessels, as in the case of like the nose. So I'm like adding. So I'm just trying to smooth this out a little bit. How's it going today? Let me see what her brow shape is like. Okay, her brow is very undefined, so you get like this really bright bit there, then it sort of like smoothly fades out. Alright. I was trying to figure out whether or not this would look better if I darkened the chin or if I lightened up the surrounding areas. And I think it looks better if I lighten up the surrounding areas like I just did. Alright. Looking pretty good here. Just gonna copy this. I'm not going to copy it exactly, but I want to get it close that the person feels like their tattoo was like approximated. That's kind of one thing that I didn't really foresee, honestly, is how many people with tattoos might take me up on this. And I was like, not that there's anything. Or did I? Oh, fuck, man. Seriously. Sometimes you do that. You paint on the wrong freaking layer. Stupid. I'll probably have to go all the way back up. Yeah. Alright. This is the layer I want to be doing the tattoo work on. Part of that is, I think, I need to brighten up this arm. Nope. Nope. Alright, we are getting there. Okay. Oops, sorry. That shadow is a little bit too green. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think the main thing now just cleaning up some of this extra color on the shirt, and then adding a little bit more dimension to the hoops. It kind of naturally was doing that because of just the line thickness around the hoops, but like I wanted to clean that up a little bit. Okay. Add a little bit of life to the eyes. Oh, we can. Cool. Lips are looking a little rounded. That's great. Just cleaning up this band a little bit more. Smoothing out that transition a little bit. And we should be solid. Like to smooth it, smooth it. Nice. How's it going, Josh? Alright. Pretty stoked with this one. This one's... Anything am I missing? Oh, she had... Okay. She has some eyeliner or like eyeshadow on. Like a kind of coffee brown. Want to make sure I get that. Dog sitting for 2.5 weeks? Damn. That's some travel, my friend. How is the dog sitting going? He pees on everything? What? What the hell? What is up with your weird dog sitting dog? Are you okay? Did you take the dog? Like, is the dog in your possession, or like, is it more like you're at their place? Because if it's at your place peeing, I'd be pissed. Be like, what the hell? What the hell, dog? That's actually funny with dogs. You can actually say, what the hell, dog? And it actually, like, makes sense. Because it's a literal canine creature. Alright, I'm gonna call this one of Amanda done. I'm gonna ship that shit. I think I'm gonna mainly, like, I'm gonna focus on getting them all done, and then I'm gonna go back as, like, a quality control thing to, like, make sure it all works. Okay, I got 13 minutes and Josh is here. I'm gonna work on Josh's portrait. Think I'm scared of Josh's judgment? No, I am not. I say that now, and I'm gonna be like, do you like this, Josh? I hope you like it. You don't judge. I do want to fix the screen, though. I know you do. Bop. Bet you didn't know your face was going to be on stream today, did you? Okay, let's see. Okay, I need a brighter highlight color is what's going on. Something like that. Yay! Thank you. What's up, Kissy? Honestly, I'm like very tired and stressed. There's a lot of stuff. I am just like, I used to think like making art's fun. Like as a professional artist, like when artists are like, I'm so tired and burned out, and I'm like, how? And then I'm like, oh, it's when you're super busy with other stuff, and then you also have art deadlines. Suddenly you're just like, fuck, I gotta. It's all stressful, which is good. It's like all good, good problem to have. I'm just so behind. There's so much stuff to do for DesignerCon that then it's hard to get my own stuff done too now. And I'm just like, I did a lot of this before, but I'm just like, I didn't really get a chance to finish up Josh's portrait, so I'm trying to do that now. There's some day that I was like, you know what? I wonder if Josh will be on stream. I'll work on his portrait today. And then he wasn't, and I was like, that's fine. And then I had to go, and so I didn't finish it, and now we're back trying to finish it. That's the way it goes. Lighten this up. This is really like an advanced paint by numbers. Thank you. Still just trying to get some of those colors and values right where it's like I want there to be form, but I don't want it to be like too grossly over exaggerated. Just like getting all of the features in, but also smoothing them down enough. Josh did like it very smooth, he said, so. Trying to do what I can for the client. Honestly, stubble is like one of the hardest things, or not it's not incredibly hard, but it's just not like an easy thing to paint. It's like a lot of thinking, figuring out how to use textures properly and getting values right. Currently it looks a little too much like a legit mustache, but I don't know, like maybe if you want I could just turn it into a full-on, like, whatever. What's the villain from Bull, the like shoot handlebar, just a handlebar mustache. Sydney Whiplash, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know, old reference from Rocky and Bullwinkle, which I don't even know if anyone under like 35 would recognize, but that's fine. Okay. Oh, there's Natasha and Boris, but Boris has like the really small mustache. I'm talking about like the Sydney, you know, the Whiplash character. Like he has like the big mallet and like I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? The other guy, he's like a solo dude. Natasha and Boris was like the couple, and then that was like anti like moose and squirrel, and then there's like Sydney Whiplash. I think I don't know. Anyway. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe we just figured it out at Sydney Whiplash. Yeah, Electric Dragon. They're really cool. Like, I play them because it's not that I actually listen to this all the time, because I don't. But it's they have like it's this full narrative about how they're fighting against this dragon that's like coming to, I think, swallow the sun, and like they're fighting against, they're like anti-electric dragon, you know. There's like a prophecy of like this dragon that's coming to eat the sun and something. Anyway. Okay. Josh, any major changes you need? You happy with this? I think your eyes are a little bit darker on the outside. I want to add that on because I feel like that. It's on this layer, huh? Alright. Look at this suave operator. This cultist of rot and bone. Are you saying your eyes are weird in the illustration, or your eyes are weird in general? I don't think so. You have pretty normal eyes. Just trying to. There's like this form I'm missing. That's what it is. Give me 1 sec. Here it is. Then it comes down like that. Cool. Alright, my friend the cultist. Snazzy. I'm pretty proud. I mean, beyond just like liking this portrait, I'm pretty into the shirt. Look at that. I even did your little like checkered crosshair shirt. Like, okay, this is next time. Next time I'm probably not gonna have people submit things for art. But I'm gonna be like, no patterns on your clothes, cover your tattoos, wear a black turtleneck in your face or something. Gingham. There he goes. Yeah. Your shirt's actually way cooler. This is like the simplified version, but I was like, nah, it works. I mean, like, proper gingham. This is really like, I don't know, a grid pattern. But okay, with that, sorry fam, I actually have to jump to another meeting. I am slammed. These are the pieces we did today. We finished up Amanda, the butcher. Look at this friendly guy. He says hello. And of course, Josh. So cuddly. Talking about the butcher? Definitely. I'll let you make your own cuddly distinctions on this guy. Cool. Thank you so much, everybody. Sorry I have to run, right? I know a lot of you guys just popped in, but I hope you're having a good day. Good luck. See y'all later. And thanks again for hopping in. GG and GN. Work calls, folks. Okay, bye-bye.